pulling a land next turn, and we'll just hit him with a Revenge. Don't you dare. Does he have it before us? He does. That's hilarious, right? We should have attacked with our Luris. Right. I still don't think we gain near enough life. Right, we get him down as much as we can. Right? Get him, boy, get him! Look at Vito go! Look at Vito go! Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're playing Orzhov Vito, which revolves around, you guessed it, Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. We can pay 5 creatures you control, gain lifelink until end of turn. This is absolutely broken. Mainly, we see this comboed with Revenge. Double your life total. Target opponent loses half their life, rounded up. So you can see just that's going to be a one-hit combo kill there with 2 cards, which is really cool. Pretty expensive, but we wrap into it with our Priest of the Forgotten Gods, letting us add 2 mana and drawing a card, which is really nice. So that's the basic strategy. We do have a secondary strategy to back that up. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the deck list, each individual card in full. What do they all do? And then we're going to look at the deck strategy. How do all of the individual cards work together to form that working archetype? Then we're sliding into today's gameplay footage, where we'll break down all of the different play lines and interactions we can find within the new Core Set 2021 meta, so you'll be able to understand how this deck operates in an environment with the other decks, right? Finally, we have our closing thoughts, where we break down the deck if we wanted any changes in it to the future, any upgrades, and then we're just going to hit you with some advertising and then talk about what we'll do in the future tomorrow. So as always, if you find any value within this video, give me a thumbs up and share it out to a friend. Orzhov Vito starts out with 4 copies of Hunted Witness. This is a 1/1 human. When Hunted Witness dies, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. 4 copies of Cauldron Familiar, another 1/1 cat. When Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Sacrifice a food, return Cauldron Familiar from your graveyard to the battlefield. 4 copies of Serrated Scorpion. 1/2. When Serrated Scorpion dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. 4 copies of Witch's Oven, an artifact. We can tap it, sacrifice a creature, create a food token. If the sacrificed creature's toughness was 4 or greater, create 2 food tokens instead. On to our 2-drops. 4 copies of Priest of the Forgotten Gods. This is a human cleric with 1/2. We can tap it, sacrifice 2 other creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature. You add 2 black mana and draw a card. 4 copies of Cruel Celebrant. A 1/2 vampire. Whenever Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. On to our 3-drops now. 4 copies of Bastion of Remembrance, an enchantment spell. When Bastion of Remembrance enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. 4 copies of Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. We talked about this already, but it is a legendary creature, so you can only play 1 at a time, sadly. Vampire Cleric, a 1/3. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Paying 5, creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. 2 copies of Luris of the Dream Den. This is a 3/2 cat nightmare with lifelink. We're not using it as a companion, so we can ignore that. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. 3 copies of Kaya's Wrath, and 3 copies of Revival/Revenge. Revival, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Revenge, double your life total, target opponent loses half their life, rounded up. These spells are accompanied by 5 plains, 8 swamps, 4 godless shrines, and 3 Temple of Silence. No sideboard today, we're only playing best of 1. That's the deck list. Now let's break down how all of these individual cards work together. We can see that most of the deck does revolve around life gain, which is nice. We do have some creatures with lifelink organically, like Luris, Hunted Witness's token when it comes back in, And I believe, oh, no. Yeah, just Hunted Witness's token. And Lurrus of the Dream Den. It seems like more than that, just because there is so much secondary life gain here. Like, when Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, we gain life. When Serrated Scorpion dies, we gain life. When we sacrifice a creature with Witch's Oven and then sacrifice the food token, we gain life. When Priest of the Forgotten Gods sacrifices a creature, we don't necessarily gain life, but we do deal 2 damage. And if the sacrificed creature was the Scorpion, then we're gaining life through that, not directly through her though. And if we have Cruel Celebrant on the field, whenever another creature dies, we gain life, right? So the Priest kind of triggers the life gain effects, if you will, even though she doesn't have it herself. Bastion of Remembrance, again, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, similar to Cruel Celebrant, costing 1 more, not a creature, but you do get the 1/1 instead, so it's pretty cool. So if the field does get wiped, you get to hold on to your Bastion of Remembrance. We have Kaya's Wrath. This even gains us life. Destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you control that were destroyed this way. So we do like to go pretty wide on our opponents, and then we can just hit them with a Kaya's Wrath potentially to gain a little bit more life that way while controlling his board state as well. At the end of the day, we're playing our Vito, and then we're ramping into Revenge. Revenge is ramps up to through Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. You're going to gain 2 mana and draw a card. Hopefully it's the cards you want. Lurrus is great for this because it will allow us to replay our sacrificed creatures. Hunted Witness has very positive value here because you can play it with Lurrus, sacrifice it, you still get the 1/1, and then you can replay Hunted Witness later on with your Lurrus again. So it doesn't just replace itself, it replaces itself, plus you get the free 1/1 with lifelink. So that will keep your Priest of the Forgotten Gods going. In all honesty, you don't even need Vito to win these games. Bastion of Remembrance, stacked with Cruel Celebrant. If you can get your Cauldron Familiar cycling with your Oven, that's gonna be just absolutely disgusting. Every time you cycle your cat, you're doing 3 damage, so that's absolutely incredible. Add Vito to that as well, and it gets even worse. You're doing, what, 6 damage per cat cycle? Absolutely incredible. So Revival is the only thing that brings our Vito back. I like to save Revival to either bring Lurrus back or Vito, because Lurrus only brings things back 2 or less, so Lurrus cannot bring Vito back, right? But it does bring Celebrant, Priest, and everything else. So that's the general deck list. There's not much to it. It is a very basic deck to play, and like a pretty powerful deck, actually. We climbed right through Diamond rank very easily today once we locked in our deck list. So that's the general strategy. Before we get into today's gameplay footage, I want to remind you that we have daily uploads on YouTube, the premiere process. So I'm showcasing our latest content live with the community. We're all there chatting real time, so that's great. After that, we move on to Twitch around 6 a.m. PST, where we have a 2 to 4 hour session, making new decks, engaging with the community, all sorts of stuff like that. So come drop by, say hello there. We also have a Discord, which you're more than welcome to join. I think around 1,200 members right now, beginners to the top ranked Mythic players in the world. So that's a very cool resource to have at your disposal. You can ask questions, get advice, share your experiences with the game that we all love, right? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit that bell icon, and come back and do it all again tomorrow with me. Thank you guys all for your continued time and attention. You're incredible. And those of you supporting me financially, I don't even have words. Woof. There's my word, right? Thank you guys so much. You're awesome. I hope you guys enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end so you don't miss out on my final thoughts. We go first. We've been blessed. We've got the Scorpion Hunted Witness situation with our Vito again. Missing our Priest. That's in the way. We have an Oven, which is out of place without a cat. But still, in my mind, worth including. The 1/2 is a better blocker than the 1/1. Shuts down Fervent Champion. Let's take our Scry. Then we can play our Vito on par. I'm gonna keep it because he's playing white. That gives us access to hopefully Arkai's Wrath if we need it. Yeah, just annoying stuff, right? Stupid Johnny. Basically just want creatures, more scorpions. If this Johnny gets life gain or goes really wide with all his cards, drains his hand, then we're gonna Wrath out, but probably trying to hold on to that. Flying lifelink at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. Interesting. The 4 defense is nice, and the ability's pretty cool, but he himself won't deal 3 damage. Eluid is also a really nice drop, so he can put counters on it. Which is fine. We're still just looking for our priest and our revenge. He's putting them all on a Johnny? Wow. Brave man. There's phase 1 complete. Just looking for that revenge. No attacks here. Ending our turn. He could tap out, and we could give all of our creatures life gain with Vito as well. That's going to be an option for us. Banishing Light on my Vito is going to be annoying for me right here. And it was done on the priest instead. Let's make the treasure, or the food. The food's great with Vito. That's fine for us. He is tapped out, which is nice. Let's eat this food, why not? We've got available mana, let's just sink the damage in. It's better than a land. Much better than a land. He's got a really thick hand, so I don't really want to Kaya yet. Luris makes our Kaya more viable. We can play everything but our Vito with it. Alright, this makes things more complicated. And he is going all out here. He wants it. So now our Kaya's Wrath is super viable. We can give our guys lifelink right here. Then Scorpion goes over. And, well, in all honesty, I don't think I really want to lose Vito. But we're going to wipe anyways. So we may as well, question mark. Just stop the damage to ourselves. Oh, and I don't think our damage triggered there either. Which is a bummer, but whatever. We're 25 still. He's got more cards than us, but we hold the Luris. No way! Such a lucky top deck for us. Oh, okay, okay. No more Baneslayer Angels, please. That's a stackable creature, you guys. He pulls another Johnny, nice. This healer is annoying as well. Come on, top deck. I mean, that's not bad. We have another Luris. This is why we do that. Playing our other Luris on top. We just drew a land. But now the Luris ability reactivates, so we can play a secondary card from our grave, which is really cool. And we just replay our Hunted Witness that we just sacked with our Priest. And the land sucks. But we do get that fresh chump blocker for Johnny, right? He's going to have the life gain from Helioid, so that sucks. That was both of our Kaya's Wrath, so we just need to top deck a Vito here somehow. Vito into a Revenge. Is 4 damage really worth blocking? We have 4 life gain. So let's just keep our creature fresh for our sacrifice. Hopefully that's his whole turn. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. We're getting lucky here. we get our 3 attacks in first, offsetting his damage from last turn, not this next turn. But we'll have him sacrifice his Ajani here. Getting rid of our Haunted Witness and our Soldier. And we start shooting in damage with our Cruel Celebrant. So we get 4 damage there, which is nice. Could have played our Serrated Scorpion for even more damage, but I'm trying to hold on to that for when we get our Vito. And then we just replay our Haunted Witness for a Chump Blocker, which we can now activate with our Witch's Oven to kind of nullify that life gain that he's going to get from Healer at Suncrowned. But he has to actually sacrifice his Johnny, which I forgot about. More land, which we don't like. Good game. Hand looks fine. 3 land into our Bastion of Remembrance. Scorpion's a great blocker for this champion. Getting that early chip damage in. 2 ovens is pretty nice against the red deck. So is our Bastion. Looking for Cruel Celebrants, Vitos, stuff like this. We have less cards in hand than him, which is nice. Chump blocking with our cat. He's tapped on mana, so we can play our cat without having our oven untapped. Getting that chip damage in. Using the cat to chump block. Next turn we play our Vito, and then the cat oven can just go into hyper mode. Chump blocking again. So we won't be playing the cat unless he spends his mana. We need our oven to untap. Especially here. So let's take our turn. In for 2 here. None of the damage we do seems like a lot, because, well, I think it isn't. But just the fact that we can put it in so consistently really, really hurts. Ending our turn, 2 ovens in play, and then we're sitting on our Vito, ready to blast off. It's Thorn, which is pretty nice, but again, we do have that chump block available. Our Bastion triggers this, which is really nice. He's out of mana, so we can just go in with our cat. Boom. Alright, Vito in play. Just gonna go absolutely insane. So we could just hit up some shenanigans here, I believe, right? Let's make him sacrifice. Hitting our Scorpion up and hitting that up. That triggers just like a ton of damage. Oh my lord. That is the power of Vito, ladies and gentlemen. Opponent goes first. Land sucks. We do have a scry though, so that's nice. Cruel Celebrants are okay, but they do need a little juice behind them. Like that Scorpion, like the Bastion of Remembrance. Third land, that's fine. Oh, just playing our Priest first. No blocks here. Just avoid any shenanigans that he may have. I don't know. I guess we could have single blocked one maybe. He also doesn't have any shenanigans, I guess. There was no stops there. Let's just push Luris out. I think that's a really nice situation to have. Playing that fourth land would be really cool. We can double drop. Double drop? So he gets his own Vito, which is really, really good with these Scorpions. That's okay for us. No attacks here. We'll wait till next turn. Playing our Vito next turn, just so we can keep up with his. He's playing a mirror match. Okay. Interesting. We have our Revenge for 6, and we can add 2, which would push us to 5. We need to pull a land. He could double block with the Scorpions. Gain a bunch of life, do a bunch of damage. Let's hold off. End our turn. Pulling a land next turn, and we'll just hit him with a Revenge. Don't you dare. Does he have it before us? He does. That's hilarious, right? We should have attacked with our Luris. Right. I still don't think we gain near enough life. Right, we get him down as much as we can. right? Get him, boy, get him. Look at Vito go. Look at Vito go. Oh my lord. Double 3, baby. Alright, he's making a play here, right? Still. Wow, and then he does 6 damage here. We're down to 2. That was his whole turn, though. Nice. Wow. Vito is 100% broken. This is fine. We just don't want to take any damage here. Right? Because the kill will trigger death unless we... Let's just not take any damage. But our Vito would trigger 2, though. Creature would die, which is... So he would do 2, but we would gain 3. Something like this. And then we could just Kaya's Wrath, which is the fun of it. Or we could also hit him with the Revenge like we wanted to. That might even just be enough damage there. It's so much. We didn't even get to cast our Revenge Revival. Didn't need to. Didn't need our Kaya's Wrath. Good game. Woof. We go first. We have our combo cards as good as they can get. When we talk about an ideal draw hand, this is pretty close to it. Maybe we rely on a draw of Revenge, but I'm okay with this. We're just looking for land, even though that's very good. I like Hunted Witness because we can sack it with our Priest. Maybe should have pushed our Priest first there, but just go wide on the red deck. No attacks, straight chillin'. Our Vito comes out next turn. We have 2 chances to draw a 4th land, and then we sack with our Priest. We have to avoid his Bone Crusher Giants and Shocks, though. And he's popping off. We get 1 more turn before we're dead. We're 10 like we're gonna block the Steamkin. I'm just not fully sure that I understand these attacks. My turn, sure. The cat's really cool, but it's important that we get our Vito out, so next turn, if we draw that land, we're in the clear. This is going to be a weird turn, though. Annex for startup. Still has 3 mana available. When he takes that 3 mana and plays something, he goes back to another 3. So he could play 1 mana and go to 5. No blocks, sadly. That's a big hit. Land, 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 land. We can do our priest first and try to draw the land, I believe. Four damage from our Scorpion, plus another 2 from our priest. Oh! Woof! That was an aggressive turn 4 win. This land is atrocious. We have to mulligan this. Looks a little bit better, I guess? Question mark? Alright, this is probably a mirror match. Hopefully we get our third land. Absent, interesting. Let's swing in with everyone. He'll trade with the priest, and we'll just replace her. Interesting. Maybe we should have had him sacrifice his Paradise Druid. Probably not worth it, though. Interesting. Let's get rid of that Paradise Druid. Oh, he gets to take his goose back. It's pretty cool. Let's get our Bastion out. That allows us to sacrifice these other 2 next turn. Controlling what we draw through our scry. Questing Beast is aggressive. We'll just have him sacrifice it though. Doing our chip damage. Just like really slaying him damage wise. It's pretty cool. It's just ramping up with Death's Oasis though. Pretty cool. I've always wanted to build around that. Let's play our Lurus, then we can play our Hunted Witness. We could have played our Cruel Celebrant and then killed 2 creatures to do the remaining amount of damage, so that's on us. That's our bad. I still think we have an easy win here. Can we go full control here? Right, before he gets to make that wolf, we're going to have him sack Tolzamir. And it gets rid of Tolzamir's effect for the wolf and fight effect. I think he still gets the wolf. But it doesn't fight anything until it enters the battlefield. He take his questing beast though? That's fine. Oh, this is a good game. We can also just do our priest for the win. You should have done that first. Whatever. We'll just win this way. Alright, 3 more damage. 4 more damage, actually. Oh, and then all this, and then that triggers more damage. It just goes on and on. Alright, so this deck is very powerful. I know a lot of people say we struggle to hit 6 mana with Vito to get the combo off, but just remember to ramp your mana pool up with Priests of the Forgotten Gods, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. This deck can win even without Vito and Revival, so I like to combine 2 things together, a top-end combo that's just absolutely absurd and janked, with a lower-end deck that is very well synergized and fine-tuned to work together and against the meta, so you can still experience some of these explosive combos while playing ranked and not getting trashed by meta decks. So this was Orzhov Vito in Core Set 2021. Let me know what you guys thought of the deck in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share to a friend, and hit that bell icon as well while you're on the page. We're live on Twitch every single morning, 6 a.m. PST. We have daily uploads on YouTube doing the premiere, so you can engage with us live, real time there as well. Join the Discord. We've got a ton of community events, monthly free to enter cash prize brawl and artisan tournaments, which are tuned specific to the free to play beginner audience, so you guys aren't competing against these crazy decks, right? You can still have fun in a game with a semi-equal playing field. So thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Take care, and we will see you all tomorrow.